Hi, I'm professional triathlete TJ Tollickson, CEO of Diamond Bikes here in Des Moines, Iowa. And I just got back from an amazing ski vacation with my family in Colorado. And so today I want to talk about vacationing as an athlete. So naturally, as any athlete, there's probably some apprehension and guilt associated with taking a vacation. You think right away, oh, I have this big race on the calendar. How can I do this? When should I schedule this? Am I going to be able to train? Am I going to become so unfit I won't be able to race? How do you do this? So I've been doing this for a very, very long time. I've taken all kinds of vacations, some more serious than others. And I want to talk to you today about my tips. I've got 4 big ones that I abide by when taking a vacation, okay? And so first of all, I want to preface this saying, this is a family vacation we're talking about. We're not talking about a training trip. If you're talking about a training trip, that's entirely different. I would advise you to make sure that the expectations with your family are clear and upfront, whether this is a family vacation holiday trip or it is a training holiday trip, because if you try to do both of those, most likely you're going to be unhappy with the mix, so will your family, probably most especially your spouse or significant other. So, on a family trip, 4 things. First and foremost, timing is everything. So you plan this out, you know when your trip is. Well, plan your training schedule accordingly. And that means making sure that you don't have a huge training week the week you're supposed to be on vacation. Make it a recovery week. Build up 2, maybe 3 weeks hard before it. 2 is probably preferable because you don't want to be in too deep of a hole when you go on vacation. Okay, but plan to recover during your vacation week. The next one is that make sure the day you travel there, the day you travel home, you're not killing yourself with training. Those should be 2 of your lighter training days. Okay, the reason being, travel is a lot of stress, and I know it's not related in your training stress score on Training Peaks, but it is stress. So you don't want to overstress your body, because what happens when you do that, you become sick or injured. So you don't want to be ill or injured from training too much on the day that you travel. That being said, for the days that you're on vacation, we're going to back up. We're not going to hit that yet. So then when you do travel, you want to make sure that you wear your compression socks. I don't have them on right now. I wear them a lot, but I will say it's super important. The science is awesome. I don't care if you're driving in the car 2 hours, flying for 2 hours. Wearing compression socks significantly increases your blood flow, significantly decreases jet lag. There have been numerous scientific studies on this. You will feel better if you travel with compression socks. I know it may look a little dorky, but you know, the wintertime it's great, you just wear pants. No one knows you have compression socks on. You don't need to be the guy in the airplane wearing your flip-flops and stinky feet and all that stuff. Wear your compression socks, huge scientific benefit to it. The next step, the next tip in this is number 2. We say try to do just one thing a day. One thing a day. And the other rule of that is when you're doing your one thing a day, try to do it early in the morning when everybody else is sleeping and they're not quite ready to be active. That's your personal time. That's the best kept secret to success in life, is that early morning time can be your own. Your kids are sleeping, your wife is sleeping, maybe she's training with you, but nobody really cares about what happens before 7 o'clock in the morning on vacation. Use that time to your advantage. Try to do just one thing. So, if you're like me, you're in Colorado on a ski vacation. I didn't have easy access to a swimming pool. Not that I couldn't have gotten in the pool, I just didn't want to have to drive and do it. So, I didn't swim. What did I do? I got up every morning and I went for a run on the trail. Snow, ice, yeah, so what, but it was very simple. All I needed was some running tights, a jacket, gloves, hat, running shoes, heart rate monitor, Garmin, boom. that's it. You're out the door. You can train. It's super easy. Get back. Very, very simple. So, one thing a day. If you have a little extra time, if you're going to get up extra early, you want to do a brick workout, that's great. You can do a bike run, run bike, swim run. But my advice is to keep those as close together as possible to minimize the downside, the downtime with the family, and having training be an interruption to what you're doing. The goal is to try to be as normal as possible, and for people who are obsessed with exercising, like many of us, that becomes hard to do. So the next tip after that is the most important one that I say, don't let your training interfere with family time. Don't do it. Don't let it interfere with your family time. That's again why the morning is so important, okay? Because the last thing you want is your kids saying, yeah, it was awesome, we went on a vacation, but all dad wanted to do was ride his bike, or all dad wanted to do was run. Okay, this is totally different again. If we're talking about a trip that you planned so you could train, that's different. That expectation needs to be up front. In my case, I was skiing with my kids, so I was still being active every day, but skiing is not swimming, biking, or running. So what did I do? I just got up and ran every day, and guess what? When I came back, I wasn't so out of shape that I couldn't get back into shape. Yes, is it a little bit of a shock to the system when you get back in the swimming pool after being gone for a week? Sure. But it's not insurmountable. It will just take a couple weeks to get it back, and then you should be fine. Okay? Whatever you do not let your training interfere with your family time. This is precious vacation time that you've paid for, saved up for. Use it, spend the time with your family. You won't regret it. And then my last tip is going to be, number 4, is going to be about your diet. Okay, so how do you eat, how do you drink when you're on vacation? Well, I think it should be a lot like regular life, except it should be a little more relaxed, okay? What does that mean? Okay, don't overindulge, okay? But don't restrict your calories either. I like to call this the opportunistic diet, right? If you're at a restaurant and you have a nice meal, they bring out the dessert tray and just absolutely your favorite dessert, they've got carrot cake or key lime pie or something you really love, go ahead, indulge. Okay, should you indulge every day? Well, probably not, but I'm gonna say this depends mostly on your activity level. So you try to live life like a normal person and balance your calorie intake with your calorie output. And so let's say you went walking through the city one day and you walked 13 miles. Well, you can feel fairly good about having that piece of carrot cake or your key lime pie if you spent that much time actively moving. And so in the case where I just did, I went skiing with my kids. It was awesome. I loved it. I loved seeing my little kids, the joy on their face, everything they're doing. I had one day where I skied by myself. I skied bumps really hard all day. That was my biggest calorie output for sure on vacation. My last 2 days, I did almost all my skiing just with my kids. That one day I skied by myself. They were in ski school. So while I was skiing by myself, I probably had my biggest calorie consumption day. And then those last 2 days, I probably had the most fun because my kids were skiing with me, showing me everything they learned in ski school. We were skiing in the trees, we were skiing in the terrain park, going through moguls with the kids, but it was a much slower, more relaxed pace, and the goal wasn't how aggressively can I ski today, the goal was how much fun can I have with my family. And I had a ton of fun, and I'll close with that saying, everybody needs a vacation, everybody deserves a vacation, and in order to make the most out of your vacation, I would encourage you to plan ahead, use these 4 tips, have a great time with your family, go do it. Ricky!